Hello guys, what's going on? My name is Sam, or Chaotic, and welcome back to another GTA 5 video here on my channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to be doing a comparison between the original WEENY ISSI and the all-new WEENY ISSI Classic. Of course, a brand new vehicle in GTA Online with the San Andreas Supersport Series update. So yesterday I uploaded a video to my channel, of course sharing 10 things that you guys need to know about the all-new Issi Classic before you buy. And one of the most asked things in the comment section of that video was, how does it compare against the original Issi? So in today's video, I'm going to be putting these two up against each other and of course comparing them. So let's go ahead then and get straight into things, and of course let's begin first of all with the price difference. So the original WEENY ISSI has been in GTA 5 ever since the game first launched back in September of 2013. You can buy it from the Southern San Andreas Super Autos website for a price of $18,000. Or alternatively, if you want to get one and have one as a personal vehicle, just drive around the map until you eventually find someone driving one. You can steal it and take it back to your garage free of charge. Unfortunately, you can't quite do this with the all-new Issi Classic. You'll have to buy this one if you want to get it. It's also listed on the Southern San Andreas Super Autos website, but it costs $360,000, which means it is 20 times more expensive to buy than the original and modern version of the Issi. And as far as I'm aware of, this is not the situation in real life either. These cost nowhere near as much as this. But what you do have to bear in mind is, this is a new vehicle that's been added in the recent update. And obviously, the overall general cost of new content has gone up over the years due to inflation, but even at $360,000, this car is relatively inexpensive for a new DLC vehicle. Now, although its price may be rather unrealistic in comparison to what it would cost in real life, its size, shape, and appearance is fairly similar to what the original Classic Mini would have looked like when it was released in 1970. And in comparison to the Issi that we have in GTA Online, yes, it is smaller as well, with the Issi of course being based upon a 2001 Mini Cooper. Now when it comes to customization, the all-new WEENY ISSI Classic has a lot of customization options available for it, as you can see in the gameplay. To start things off, alongside the standard upgrades, things such as the armor, engine, and brake upgrades, you could apply this bodywork option, of course changing the color of trim around the vehicle. You also have the option to change out the front bumper as well, and it's worth pointing out, this car also has the horizontal British license plate on the front of the vehicle as well, which is pretty cool, and I'm sure many of you guys will like. And alongside having several rear bumper options, you can also fit lights to the front of this vehicle as well, of course giving it that rally or race style look. You also have the option too to change out the interior, but unfortunately you can't go for an interior upgrade and the front lights, you have to go for one or the other. This car also has several different exhaust options with some pretty crazy ones, if I may say so myself, with the carbon twin one being my personal favourites. You can also fit fenders and wheel arch extensions to this car as well, again with plenty really cool options. I went for the primary wide arches to give it the bulkiest look. Then for grills, again plenty of options and customization choices in this category, my personal favourite being the stripped down look, giving it that mesh grille, so I selected that. This car also has 14 different hood options, again with some pretty crazy options to choose between. I went for the performance option. You can also apply a livery to this car as well, with 10 different livery options to choose between. I personally prefer the car without a livery, so I didn't select one, but there are certainly some nice ones to choose between. Moving on then to the next customization option, we're going to be taking a look at respray next, and again, this car looks great in pretty much any color you choose and apply to this. But just like in my video yesterday, I selected lime green, which of course is the iconic Mr. Bean color, and also looks great on this vehicle anyway. And as for the secondary color, I selected black. I haven't got many secondary panels on this, but if you did, you have the option to apply a secondary color to those as well. Plus, you can also change the trim color as well. This car also has a roof option, which as you can see allows you to change either the color of the roof or apply a pattern, with again some pretty cool options in that category. There is also a skirt customization category as well, with several different options in that category too. Plus, if you guys want to, you can apply a spoiler to this car as well, either going for a classic style roof rack or going for a big wing like I fitted on my vehicle. But either option, whether you select a more classic and retro look like a roof rack or going for a big wing, of course gives you that traction boost, so it doesn't matter either way, whatever you select. So there we go. There are certainly plenty of customization options available for this vehicle. It is definitely one of the most customizable vehicles that we've received in GTA Online with this update, with many of the panels on this vehicle being upgradable and customizable. So comparing this then to the original WEENY ISSI, now of course it's worth bearing in mind that with this being an original vehicle that's been in GTA 5 since launch, it's kind of expected there'll be a lot less customizations and things you can actually do to this vehicle. So as you can see, there are a few different options. You can do things such as upgrading the front and rear bumpers, change out the exhaust, fit a scoop to the hood, but there are certainly a lot less options in each category, literally with just one upgrade option in each category. So you either add something or you don't, which is kind of a shame because I feel like this car, if there were to be a load of customization options similar to the WEENY ISSI Classic, could be pretty awesome and certainly a lot better and more favorable in GTA Online. Just imagine this car with more rally and race style customizations, with the option of fitting wider arches, a solid roof, which we'll be talking about in a few moments, a spoiler, a much more menacing front bumper and splitter, a different rear bumper, diffuser and things like that. But unfortunately no, with this version, there aren't really many things you can do to this car. Sure, with the upgrades available, you can improve it, but there aren't really too many things you can do to this in the terms of customizations. So I guess you could say the new ISSI Classic certainly wins it when it comes to customization options. But there is one feature which the original ISSI has, which isn't even an option on the ISSI Classic, that of course being a convertible. So yes, this has a soft top, and of course with a touch of a button, you can put the roof down as a convertible car if you want to. Anyway, so far, the original ISSI is winning on price. It is far cheaper than the new ISSI Classic, but the ISSI Classic has a lot more customization options available for it. So how do these two cars compare then when it comes to speed and performance? Well, the new ISSI Classic has a top speed of 96 miles an hour. But to get there, it does feel like an awfully long time. This thing is not particularly fast in any way, shape or form, off the line or in the terms of its top speed. In fact, in the compacts category, the category which it's in, it's one of the slowest cars in the terms of its top speed. Whereas the original WEENY ISSI is much faster. Its top speed is somewhere around 109 to 110 miles an hour on the flat and straight sections, and it definitely doesn't feel anywhere near as slow to drive around. But when it comes to doing a straight line drag race between these two cars, of course both being fully upgraded at the airport, the results were certainly very unexpected. So we'll start things off first of all with the WEENY ISSI Classic, and with this car being particularly slow, this was one of the longest drag races I've ever done. It took a total time of 28 seconds dead, only hitting a top speed of 92 miles an hour. So not too far away from the overall top speed of this car, but 28 seconds is certainly a lot slower than most other cars that we'd get when doing this, with most supercars bringing a time of around 20 seconds or so. So with the ISSI Classic being a much older model of the ISSI, you'd expect the results to be very different, with the ISSI being much faster. It certainly has a much higher top speed. But like I said, the results whilst doing this were not actually that different. I was very surprised by this. And yes, although the original ISSI is faster, it is a much newer model after all, it was only just faster, with a time of 27.14 seconds, and hitting a top speed of 99 miles an hour. But it's less than a second quicker whilst doing this drag race. Whereas I expected there to be a much bigger gap between these two cars. But straight line speed, of course, in drag race situations isn't everything, so how do these two cars compare in a track race situation? And again, the results are pretty surprising. Now in no way, shape or form am I particularly good when it comes to driving around, especially in race situations in GTA Online, but what I've done is create my very own track down at the docks, of course trying to incorporate plenty of corners and straight sections and stuff like that. And what I will say is that the ISSI Classic certainly doesn't corner very well. Its handling and cornering capabilities certainly isn't its strong point. You really have to slow down for the corners because this does have a pretty wide turning circle, and as you can see, it likes to slide through the corners and often kicks up a load of tyre smoke, so certainly not the best. And for that reason, I expected this to have a much worse track time than the standard ISSI, but surprisingly, the results were actually very close. So the ISSI Classic pulled in a lap time of 48.08 seconds. Certainly nothing too impressive. If we compare this to the Flash GT, a vehicle which I raced around here a few days ago and uploaded to my channel, that pulled in a time of 41 seconds, so it's certainly a lot slower. But against the WEENY ISSI, the time isn't too dissimilar. which, like I said, I didn't expect, because whilst recording this gameplay, whilst driving around this track in the Issi, it just felt faster and easier, especially through the corners. But it pulls in a time of 47.23 seconds, so again, the results are pretty close, with less than a second difference between the two. Now again, this could be down to the fact that I'm not very good when it comes to driving in GTA Online, and I'm sure there could be some improvements on the lap times for both vehicles. But either way you look at it, although you may not expect it, the performance from these two vehicles is surprisingly very similar. But the Issi is definitely the better performing car, which I guess should be expected with it being a much newer model over the Issi Classic. So there we go then guys, that's pretty much it then for this video. That's how those two cars compare. I want to get your thoughts and feelings on this video. What do you guys think? So go ahead and leave a comment right now. If you guys could also drop a like on this video as well, it would of course be greatly appreciated and it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do, because I upload all the latest and the greatest Grand Theft Auto 5 content. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.